17 SAU Medicine, forward for you.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. A new program that the city of Clinton is looking to implement might just be what those who struggle to keep their properties need. Mayor Helen Michalossi reminds that the Block by Block program is something she saw work in Decatur and is hoping to bring a similarly structured program to Clinton.
Block by Block is a program where the city will invest a little bit of money, and then they will also take donations from corporations, individuals, and faith communities to help families who are struggling to maintain their property. So maybe you have a property where they need a dumpster and they need some volunteers to come in and fill that and come in and tear out trees or shrubbery that needs just cleaning up a property and changing that curb appeal for that family. I volunteered with it in Macon County in the past. It's called Block by Block because you can literally go down a street, pick a street. People will sign up. Mm-hmm. They'll reach out to me and we will sign you up and to be considered to be a part of the program.
City Administrator Tony Harris indicates that with the city's budget process beginning, they're starting to take a look at what it would take to make this program happen from a funding perspective.
And you said a little bit of money, but a whole lot of labor. Labor is more than
that's absolutely than right. Because when you're buying some rock and mulch and some bushes to throw in somebody's yard or a couple of pots, that's one thing. But Tony's absolutely right. We're going to be looking for businesses and individuals and faith communities. And we've already had 2 faith communities reach out and say, how can we help? We're going to want to be a part of this. It takes about 8 or 10 volunteers per property usually, mm-hmm. But you can do 10 properties in a day.
Mayor Michalossi indicates they found that residents they helped in Decatur continue to maintain their properties well after they received assistance.
Statistically, they keep the properties up. In Decatur, where we did it, years later, I ran into a woman who said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry." She said, "Well, you did my house. You helped redo my house. That was years ago." And she said, "It still looks the same. It still looks good."
The mayor and Harris believe this program would continue to build on the many positive things happening for the city of Clinton in 2026. As the spring fishing season starts to kick into high gear with nicer weather looming, local outdoors authorities are reminding fishermen to get those licenses renewed. Illinois Department of Conservation Police Officer Noah Workman reminds fishermen to check and make sure those 3-year and yearly licenses are still valid as they annually expire at the end of March. Additionally, be sure to check on those trout stamps.
I always tell people, make sure you got a trout stamp. Fishing license expire at the end of March. Mm-hmm. So April 1st, you got to have your new fishing license. If you got a 3-year license, great. Make sure that you're within that 3 years that you bought it. But if you're going to be a trout fisherman, keep trout. You need it. That's an annual thing. Mm-hmm. You go by and make sure you go get your trout stamp. Just because you bought your 3-year fishing license, it wasn't a 3-year trout stamp either. So
we're also coming up on Officer Workman indicates it will be next week when they will restock Weldon Springs with trout and reminds of some of the regulations around fishing at Weldon Springs.
They're going to stock trout here in the next week or so out at Weldon Springs. Mm-hmm. They stock it. I can't remember if it's twice or once a year. But anyway, they do it in the spring. I don't know if they do a fall stock or not. We are getting ready to stock it here in about the next week. So if you are going to fish Weldon Springs, and you catch trout, you got to throw it back. You can't possess trout until the opening of trout season. So beginning of April. Just looked at it, came off my phone the other day. I'd have to go back and check the exact date. But yeah, you can't possess trout until the trout opener. It's always a Saturday morning. I think it's the first full Saturday. I think so. I'd have to go back and look at the exact date. And I'll let you know when we get off here.
We're also coming up on prime mushroom hunting season at Clinton Lake. We'll have more with Officer Workman next week about turkey hunting and mushroom hunting overlap at Clinton Lake in the spring and how to avoid conflicts with the hunters of those respective games. Now for your local obituaries. Cheryl M. Aggie, 59, of Maroa, passed away at her home surrounded by her family on Sunday, March 22nd, 2026. Memorials may be made to the Maroa Forsyth High School baseball program. Graveside services for Cheryl will be held on Saturday, April 25th, 2026 at 11 a.m. at the Maroa Township Cemetery and will be followed by a celebration of life at the Maroa Community Center at 12 p.m. Peasley Funeral Home in Lincoln is assisting the family with arrangements. Ellen K. Moberly West, 78, of Clinton, passed away at 10:09 p.m. March 28th at Gibson City Hospital in Gibson City. Services will be 11 a.m. Friday, April 3rd at Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton with Brent Zastrow officiating. Burial will follow at Mausoleum Park Cemetery in Clinton. Visitation will be 4 to 7 p.m. Thursday, April 2nd at the funeral home. Memorials may be directed to Clinton Eagles number 593 Auxiliary Scholarship Fund. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
March in Forsyth keeps you on your toes. Snow one day, sunshine the next. Maybe it's your season for a change. At Hickory Point Garden Homes, enjoy one-story duplex living with no maintenance and no worries. To learn more, click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hey everyone, Paul Scarron here, CEO of Warner Hospital. Spring in Central Illinois is beautiful, unless allergies are slowing you down. If you're dealing with sneezing, congestion, itchy eyes, or sinus pressure, our experienced providers at Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton are here to help. We offer fast, personalized treatment to get you breathing easier and feeling better. Don't let allergies take over your spring. Call or visit us today. Warner Hospital and Health Services, quality care right here, right now.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Brock Wilson and Josh Bass hit home runs, and Clinton made easy work of Sullivan 15-1 in non-conference high school baseball action on Tuesday in Clinton. Leading 1-0 in the third, Bass blasted an opposite field home run into the wind for a 4-0 Clinton lead. Bass added a run-scoring double in the fourth that capped a 5-run inning to make it 9-0 Maroons. In the fifth inning, Jack Manning plated a run with a sac fly. Then Bass added another run-scoring hit to make it 12-1 Clinton. Wilson put the exclamation mark on the Maroons' rout with a 3-run home run to make it 15-1. Bass finished 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs. Manning and Wilson drove in 3 runs apiece. Brady Stauffer spun 5 innings of 1-run ball for Clinton. He allowed 3 hits, walked 2, and struck out 6. Clinton is 4-3 on the year. They host GCMS today. Hear the action this afternoon on WHOW and all its digital platforms. Game time is 4:30 p.m. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Madison Highland twirled 4 scoreless innings and went 3 for 3 at the plate as Monticello routed Decatur St. Teresa 15-0 in a 4-inning run rule win in non-conference high school softball action in Monticello on Tuesday. Highland drove in 2 and was on base all 4 times with a walk. She struck out 1, walked 1, and permitted 4 hits. Highland was the State Bank of Bement player of the game. Reese Steiger hit a solo home run for the Lady Sages. Isabella Beery had a team-best 3 RBIs with a 2-run single in a 7-run third inning that broke the game open. Allie Widener drove in 2 for Monticello, and Annie Robinson had a double. Decatur St. Teresa drops to 5-4 overall. Monticello goes to 8-2. They will visit Chatham-Glenwood on Thursday. Grant Kiger sacrificed Jax Bailey in the top of the 6th for the ultimate winning run, and Monticello rallied past Tri-Valley 4-3 in non-conference high school baseball action on Tuesday in Downs. Grayson Coughlin hit a 3-run home run in the top of the 1st inning that put the Vikings in front against Kiger. The Sages answered with 3 of their own in the top of the 5th inning. Cole Bassick scored 2 with a base hit to make it 3-2. Koyi Williams promptly doubled in Bassick to tie the game at 3-3. Coughlin struck out 10 in 5 innings of work. He allowed 3 runs on 2 hits and walked 4. Dawson Gatros earned the win from Monticello with 4 innings of shutout ball. He permitted a walk on 3 hits with 3 strikeouts. Monticello is 9-0 on the season. They host GCMS on Friday. Sullivan scored 5 runs in the 6th inning and pulled away from Clinton 7-2 in non-conference high school softball action on Tuesday in Clinton. The Lady Maroons led 2-1 before the Lady Redskins went in front for good. Hadley Humble and Kinsey Sickles had back-to-back run-scoring hits that put the Lady Maroons in front in the 5th. Humble finished 2 for 4. Annalise Thompson, Avery Smith, and Campbell Bass added hits for Clinton. The Lady Maroons dropped to 3-4 overall. They host Shelbyville on Thursday to open Central Illinois Conference play. 3 home runs powered Rochester past Lincoln 13-1 in a 5-inning run rule win for the Rockets on Tuesday in Rochester in non-conference high school baseball action. Sam Ferris, Reese Gade, and A.J. Runkle hit home runs for Rochester. Freshman Grady Rutledge plated the only run for Lincoln in the loss. Owen Comstock tripled for Lincoln's only extra base hit. Carson Komnick, Bryson Valovich, and Chase March had hits for the Rail Splitters. Lincoln goes to 5-4 overall. They visit Chatham-Glenwood on Wednesday. The Illinois State baseball program earned a 4-1 victory over in-state rival Illinois Tuesday evening at Duffy Bass Field. With the win, the Redbirds improved to 19-10 overall in 2026. The Redbirds secured the victory after 5 hours and 25 minutes, which was the longest contest of the 2026 season, due to a pair of lightning delays that combined for nearly 3 hours. As inclement weather loomed over normal Illinois, pitching from both staffs excelled early as each offense was limited to 2 hits in the opening 5 innings in the contest. In the top of the 5th, Illinois looked to open scoring in the contest following a leadoff triple to begin the frame. With a runner on third, redshirt sophomore Carson Cormier retired the next 3 batters to maintain a 0-0 score before lightning struck, forcing the contest into its first delay. Following a nearly 2-hour break, the Fighting Illini worked a runner into scoring position to begin the 6th inning after a walk and a wild pitch. With a runner on second, Illinois opened scoring in the contest as a sacrifice bunt attempt led to a Redbird error to make the score 1-0. Despite the deficit, the Redbirds brought the Thunder in the home half of the 6th as Camden Karchewski opened the frame with a leadoff single. Braden Bakes followed with a walk to put the pair of runners on base for Illinois State. With 2 runners on, Graham Mastros delivered the Redbirds' first runs in the contest with an RBI double to even the score at 1-1. Moments later, Luke Stolga added 2 on a triple to give Illinois State a 3-1 lead. In the 7th, Michael Carano Jr. led off the inning with a double to put the runner in scoring position to open the frame. John Shuey made his Illinois State debut, pinch running for Carano Jr. later in the inning, and scored his first run as a Redbird to make the score 4-1, following a sacrifice fly from Mastros. With the lead in hand, Jacob Culp, Shoto Tiger Okamura, and Reese Clapp combined for 3 no-hit innings with a pair of strikeouts to secure the Redbird victory. Griffin Conine hit a 2-run home run in the 8th inning, and the Miami Marlins scored 4 runs in the 4th in a 9-2 win over the Chicago White Sox on Tuesday night.
Munetaka Murakami collected another hit Tuesday, his 5th straight game with a hit.
A 1-1. Murakami with a hard ground ball. That's into center field. Carroll rounding third. He will score. It's 1-0.
Mooney became the 4th Japanese player to start his major league career with a hit in his first 5 games. Alas, Eric Fetty was saddled with a tough luck loss when some outfield miscues, both fielding and throwing, undid an early lead and proved to be the Sox undoing in a 7-2 defeat. The Sox and Marlins get set for a rubber match on Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 11:30 a.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
Chicago's Sandy Alcantara starts against Shane Smith in the series finale on Wednesday. Jose Soriano pitched 2-hit ball over 6 scoreless innings for the second time in 2 starts, and the Los Angeles Angels beat the Chicago Cubs 2-0 on Tuesday night. Logan O'Hoppe hit a 2-run single with 2 outs in the 6th against reliever Phil Manton, and that was all Soriano needed on a cold and windy night at Wrigley Field. The 27-year-old right-hander threw 90 pitches, striking out 4 and walking 2. He was coming off a terrific performance in the Angels' 3-0 win at Houston on opening day. Chase Silseth pitched around a single by Nico Horner and a walk to Moises Bastereros in the 7th. Drew Pomeranz worked 1 1/3 innings against his former team, and Jordan Romano got 2 outs for his second save. Romano walked Dansby Swanson before switching out pinch hitter Michael Conforto to end as the Angels snapped a 3-game skid. Cubs starter Jamison Talon gave up 2 hits over 4 2/3 innings in his season debut. The veteran right-hander exited after intentionally walking Mike Trout to load the bases. Hobie Milner retired Nolan Schanuel on a grounder, ending that threat, but after wasting a big opportunity in the 5th, the Angels broke through in the 6th. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs when O'Hoppe hit a 1-hopper off third baseman Alex Bregman's glove for a 2-run single. Left-handers Matthew Boyd and Yusei Kikuchi start the finale of a 3-game series. Boyd, who was an all-star last season, got tagged for 6 runs over 3 2/3 innings in Chicago's season opening loss to Washington. Kikuchi allowed 2 runs over 4 1/3 innings Friday in the Angels' win in Houston. Ramon Urias launched his first home run with St. Louis, and Andre Palante combined with 4 relievers on a 3-hitter as the St. Louis Cardinals defeated the New York Mets 3-0 on Tuesday night. Ivan Herrera had a 2-run double in the 3rd inning, and Urias drove Richard Lovelady's second pitch over the left center wall in the 7th. Palante pitched 5+ innings, allowing 3 hits and 3 walks while striking out 3. He was lifted for Gordon Graceffo in the 6th after giving up a double to Juan Soto in a walk to Bo Bichetti to start the inning. Graceffo, recalled from AAA Memphis before the game, got Luis Robert Jr. to fly to center and Jared Young to line into a 6-3 double play. Ryan Stanek and Jojo Romero each worked an inning before Riley O'Brien pitched a perfect 9th for his first save this season. J.J. Weatherholt had 2 hits and scored a run. The rookie has reached safely in each of his first 5 major league games. Kodai Senga allowed 2 runs and 4 hits over 6 innings in an encouraging outing for New York. Senga struck out 9, including the side in the 2nd and 6th. He walked 3. Soto had a pair of hits and has reached safely in all 40 career games against St. Louis. It's the longest streak to begin a career versus the Cardinals. Mets right-hander Freddie Peralta faces left-hander Matthew Liberatore in a rubber game of the series on Wednesday. Kyle Connor scored 33 seconds into overtime to lead the Winnipeg Jets to a 4-3 win over the Chicago Blackhawks on Tuesday night. Josh Morrissey, Isaac Rosen, and Cole Perfetti also scored, and Mark Sheffley added 3 assists for the Jets, who are coming off a 4-2 win over NHL-leading Colorado Avalanche. Tyler Bertuzzi scored twice, and Anton Frondel also scored for Chicago, which has lost 4 in a row. Bertuzzi's wrist shot at 9 minutes and 46 seconds into the 3rd period sent the game into overtime. Connor Hellebuck made 18 saves in the win for the Jets. Spencer Knight made 20 saves for the Blackhawks. The Jets won 66.7% of the faceoffs in the game. The Jets visit Dallas on Thursday, while the Blackhawks start their final road trip of the season at Edmonton on Thursday. In MLB scores from yesterday, the Texas Rangers beat the Baltimore Orioles 8-5, while the Pittsburgh Pirates took down the Cincinnati Reds 8-3. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Washington Nationals 3-2, and the Toronto Blue Jays beat the Colorado Rockies 5-1. The Athletics took down the Atlanta Braves 5-2, and the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-2. The Houston Astros took down the Boston Red Sox 9-2, while the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Detroit Tigers 7-5. The New York Yankees shut out the Seattle Mariners 5-0, while the San Francisco Giants beat the San Diego Padres 9-3, and the LA Dodgers took down the Cleveland Guardians 4-1. In scores from the NBA last night, the Orlando Magic beat the Phoenix Suns 115-111, while the Charlotte Hornets took down the Brooklyn Nets 117-86. The Milwaukee Bucks routed the Dallas Mavericks 123-99, while the Houston Rockets beat the New York Knicks 111-94. The Detroit Pistons beat the Toronto Raptors 127-116, and the LA Lakers beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 127-113, while the Portland Trailblazers took down the LA Clippers 114-104. In the NHL last night, the Boston Bruins beat the Dallas Stars 6-3, while the Pittsburgh Penguins took down the Detroit Red Wings 5-1. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-1, while with the same 4-1 score, the New York Rangers beat the New Jersey Devils. The Buffalo Sabres beat the New York Islanders 4-3, while the Florida Panthers took down the Ottawa Senators 6-3. The Washington Capitals beat the Philadelphia Flyers 6-4, and the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-2, while the Edmonton Oilers shut out the Seattle Kraken 3-0. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on how he works to save you money every day.
I know the retails at the stores in Decatur probably better than most of the people in the stores know. I monitor this closely so customers do not have to. And then you don't have to spend $40 or $30 driving round trip at 60 cents a mile to Decatur or Lincoln or Bloomington. That's real numbers. It's 60, 70 cents a mile to drive your car.
And as Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson always says,
hope to see you soon.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4-lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump will address the nation this evening on the Iran war. Mr. Trump has suggested the war is nearing its end, at least as far as U.S. involvement is concerned. The president plans to be there in person for today's Supreme Court hearing on birthright citizenship, one of the first executive orders he signed in his current term in